So next up, we've got some juicy new news on the PlayStation VR 2, specifically on the interface and features update. So Sony have revealed more details about the cool new features of the Sony PlayStation VR 2, including a see-through view, customizable play area, and more. So the see-through view, you guys probably know. Joe Jives actually showed it to me on his not a HTC HP device as well. It's basically using the front-mounted cameras on the device to be able to swap the view so you can see your surroundings. It can be enabled by a button on the headset or in the PS VR2 interface, but this view cannot be recorded. Now, this isn't, a brand new crazy technology that we've never seen before. My Quest did that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The HP that I used at Joe Jives' place did that. It's a fairly common feature. It's actually quite useful in a lot of cases when you're trying to sort of figure out your surroundings and you want to take the stuff on and off, especially if you have glasses. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. So pretty cool, run of the mill, but pretty cool feature that they've announced. They've got a customizable play area. Again, something that you kind of expect from a VR headset nowadays. I don't remember if you have it on the original PSVR, but it's certainly something that is super useful to have. So it allows you to use the Sense controllers as well as the embedded cameras to do the typical thing where you can sort of map out the area in your room. The camera scan the room while the Sense controller allows you to resize the actual play area that you're in. And if you get too close to the boundary while playing, you receive a warning. And your play area settings are saved unless you move to a new area. So again, I remember I did this with my Quest as well, although, most of the time my Quest was used in a chair.
Not Sony can't impress you at all. This
playing games. I'm just saying, in 2022, thanks Sony, but these are kind of features that you'd expect out of these devices. I'd be really surprised if they didn't support this kind of stuff. It is a very useful feature, although on the Quest, especially sitting on a chair, sometimes it actually got annoying and in the way. But at the same time, instead of knocking my monitor with the controller by mistake, I'd rather have something like this. So it's absolutely good. And if you're standing, probably even more useful, so you don't trip over your couch or anything like that. Now, a couple of other details. You've got broadcast mode. So by connecting the PS5 HD camera to the console, you can record yourself playing VR. I mean, awesome for streaming.
I want to see Swinny do that.
Swinny would do that.
That is never going to happen.
How much money would we have to pay you?
Fucking years.
What if I paid you $1,000? Would you do it? But you gotta be shirtless.
I'd look like bloody was it Palmer Lucky or whatever? The Oculus dude.
Yeah.
On the friggin' Time magazine cover on the beach.
That was the greatest.
That's how I imagine myself if I saw myself playing VR, which I've yet to do. So.
Look, I get that. Yeah, exactly like that. Wow, you brought it up.
Go on.
Awesome. Exactly like
Swinny,
that.
I genuinely think if we paid Swinny $10,000, he wouldn't do it.
Probably wouldn't do it, even for 10K.
I don't think he would do it. I think 50 he would, but not 10. Not 10.
Maybe 50.
All right.
But he's going to do it topless.
Lucky. How'd you get that name, by the way? That's a good rip, man.
Because I remember how he got
He's a hero.
As a very conservative person, and it killed his career.
That's one of the greatest images. That's there's a category of images where it's like, to be clear, this is not photoshopped. This is a real image.
This to me, you put this alongside the Mark Zuckerberg, like wakeboarding, whatever the hell he was doing, wearing like the mime makeup or whatever the hell it was. Like those two together, are they in the same realm for me?
I'll give him a pass on that because it's sort of like that's his private thing. He wasn't putting that out there, right? Whereas this is actually like he's going, yep, awesome cover, guys, love it. Like that's rough.
I believe this was prior to the Facebook purchase of Oculus as well. So
yeah,
I believe I could be wrong.
But yeah.
So just imagine Swinny here.
I would love to see that. In terms of VR mode, content will be displayed in 4000 by 2040 HDR, which is pretty freaking cool at 90 or 120 hertz. So those are really good specs, I would say, for the kind of device that it is. I don't remember Oculus if it does more than 90 from memory.
Yeah, it
Mind
does.
you,
Yeah.
entry level device kind of thing. Does it go up to 120? I don't know if I've ever used mine at 120.
They updated it so that it could go higher.
Cool. So look, 120 would be fantastic to be able to get it, especially with this kind of resolution. So I think this thing's going to look pretty bloody sweet. And they've also got cinematic mode with the PS5 UI and non-VR games on a virtual cinema screen at 1920 by 1080 HDR with 120 hertz. I must admit, I never really used the cinema mode on the VR headsets that I've had for viewing, content within a virtual cinema room. I kind of just put it on my actual screen.
So one
if
of
I
my
wanted to do
mates does that all the time, like every other night. We'll put it on in
Interesting.
bed and watch YouTube and stuff with the VR
Okay.
mode. I'm like, I think that's so bizarre,
Some
but
people.
they
I
really
guess 'cause
like
you can
that's.
lie down and watch it. It's kind of not a bad idea, maybe.
know.
I mean, you know what I bought? I bought, those you have those things you put around your neck that you can hold your phone in front of you. I didn't buy. No, hang on. Time out.
I
didn't buy that for myself.
Before you get there, I'm laughing because a little while back, you told me about the things that you had attached to your bed head that can hold a tablet, and it's just like solving the same issue.
Oh, it's like solving exactly the same issue.
But put it
Because
around
that
your
thing
neck.
was falling on my head. So this thing you kind of put around your, it's sort of like it goes around your neck. I can get it in a bit if you want. And it's supposed to attach your mobile phone. And I used it for the Switch, and it actually worked pretty well for the Switch.
It's so
My
screwed up,
girlfriend mostly uses it for her
That
phone,
is such
though.
a
So she's just been
Wall-E
sitting there with-
style.
I
Like,
know, really.
It's-
I think it literally is from Wally.
It is. I hated myself when I did that. I have to admit. I just went, "What the f am I doing with my life?" So look, all up, I'm actually starting to look more forward to the PSVR. Mostly because I don't remember if we covered this last week or we actually pulled this story out, but as of I believe the 1st of August, if I'm not mistaken, Oculus has gone up by $100 US.
Yep.
So I think the
already
Australian
happened.
base.
It's already happened.
It's already happened then, yeah. So the base price of the Australian version is like what, $629 now or something. It's exactly what it's like. It's freaking creepy, man. I hate it. I hate myself. No wonder I put on so much weight.
there's mention of it in the 1 mins this week. So
Oh, there is. Excellent. So given the specs, given what it can do, given the potential for the games on the platform and the ease of use, unlike plugging it into a PC and stuff, I'm kind of looking forward to this, and I think I might even get a day one. We'll see.
I'm getting a day one. Well, maybe if it's too close to my birthday or something, I'll ask for a birthday or Christmas
excuse
present or
for that,
something.
yeah.
But
now, do
I'm
you think
definitely going in on this.
do you think it'll actually be hard to get, like PlayStation 5 hardware?
I don't think it would be that hard, but it's a good point actually. Maybe it will be hard to get. Maybe I'll pre-order it. Yeah, I didn't think about that actually. Maybe.
It's possible. I mean, not to, maybe this is for a different segment, but what's happening now in Taiwan, I think will also have a global impact on some of this stuff, potentially. So might be seeing another.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
round
like
of-
things are gonna get looser. It might just get
No.
tighter again. So
I think it's just going to get tighter and worse. Yeah.
yeah. I think I don't agree with your editorial about the these are just features. I think Sony has a history of not doing things that are just basic and expected. It's a little bit like Nintendo at times with what they do. So I think to me it gives me great comfort that they're like, oh yeah, all these great features from Oculus, from
people
modern
expect.
headsets, they're coming.
Yeah.
They're gonna be there. They're all like, it's all sensible stuff.
But they have to, right?
Well,
have
but
to
they
put
don't.
the
They,
sensible
no,
stuff.
but like they don't always do that. They don't always do that. So I'm glad that they've just confirmed it. So it's like, bang, okay, cool. And the big thing for me is like they're doing this big push into PC. I do wonder if they're gonna do anything there, like if they're gonna help out with the PC VR setup.
No, I hope they do, purely because I'd be interested to see the price point that these ultimately come out at, especially now that Oculus has gone up. A lot of the other
Yeah.
headsets are fairly expensive for a retail price. If this can double up and also be a decent PC headset, their sales are gonna boom.
Well, because I've been in meetings like that where you're discussing pricing and it's like, oh, I'm sure they'd be sweating because the Oculus, you've got it in the show notes, right, Swinny? How much was the Oculus in the US before the Meta Quest 2?
Oh, look, I just said it's getting a price increase.
It was like
100.
400 or
Look, I
something.
don't know, but
US
in
or something?
Australia it was 469, I think, and it's now 629 or something.
Yeah, I don't think Australia's a good point because our pricing has gone
Yeah,
nuts
potentially
because
not.
of
But
because
no,
of FX and supply chain stuff.
Which we'll
Yeah,
talk about in the
it's
next
a fair
segment,
point.
actually.
But I remember ordering it from Amazon US was about the same price as ordering it locally from memory.
It was like
usually it's a bit cheaper
$100
ordering stuff
increase. Is that
overseas.
right?
It was 100 USD increase.
Yeah, so it's $2.99 US, and then it's now $3.99. Like that's
Okay.
that's
But
a
that
massive jump.
$2.99, do you reckon they must have made a pittance on it? Like, I don't think they made a lot of money on the headsets.
Because it's so
Given the R&D and
unprecedented.
everything
I don't
else.
think I've ever seen a commercial electronic product go up in price. Literally, I
No,
cannot
that's
think
right.
of one.
But I
Right?
feel like they were
But-
selling it at below
No,
cost.
but like, hear me out. There's so what I think had happened is they were selling it at a like maybe marginal loss. Then, like, because they all started doing this before the supply chain crunch, right? Then I think supply chain crunch, they're now going, oh shit, we're now losing $70 on each one of these,
Yeah.
right? Like, this is actually properly unsustainable. And I think and because of Facebook's revenue profile's gone to shit recently as well, I just don't think it's another part of the business where they go, oh, we can afford to lose $100 on each time someone buys one of these fucking things, right? And then on the flip side, I really doubt they're seeing that many sales on the Oculus store. Because I don't see any buzz about that. I don't see anything where people are like, oh, use that. And I feel like a lot of people use the Meta Quest as a cheap PC VR, not
At least that's what I
standalone
used it for, yeah.
Oculus. Like, I've used more of it with Half-Life Alyx. Facebook got $0 for that. So, you know, if you put something out there as a loss leader, it's like, you know, what are you going to do, right? So I kind of get why they've done that, but what I wanted to say was Sony would have been like in the boardroom stressing about the pricing because they are competing against this. And then Oculus comes out, oh, we're hiking it up $100. They would have just been like, fucking hallelujah, thank God. Because whatever they were going to price it at, they're going to factor in that $100 hike. And, you know, it's bad for us for sure as a consumer, but I'm still going to get it anyway, unfortunately. Like, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm in,
yeah.
you're in, Mike. You might be
in.
in, Swinny.
Swinny
Yeah,
is-
possibly. If I'm going to get any VR, it'll probably be one that's probably a bit of an easier plug and play than others. So yeah,
And I just can't
Have you-
support Facebook, sorry. I just
yeah,
can't do it.
That's the thing, yeah.
yeah.
I know. Have you ever, by the way, I mean, this is gonna sound like a Mike question, but I mean it as a legitimate question. Have you ever tried VR porn?
Why? This is not After Dark show, right?
No, I'm just curious. Like, just the yes or no answer.
I'll say that the
It's,
only
it's a selling point.
Dude.
Is all I can say. It is a selling point.
I'll say it like this. Well, I'll answer this. The only VR set that I get to use is my father-in-law's set. So I'm not
Who
gonna.
definitely used it for that purpose?
No, I'd say it's very
So I hope you
unlikely.
did
I
it.
think it's extremely unlikely, to be honest. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna go soil his Oculus. Which,
Fair
by the
enough.
way, he gets motion sickness and everything.
Soil is soil.
Soil is
Fair enough.
Oculus. That's the show title. Soil is Oculus. Oh, soiled
once-
Oculus.
Borrowed an Oculus from the library, so
Oh my god! Did you watch porn on the library Oculus?
no, because I wasn't stupid enough to do that. I was thinking about it though, and then I'm like, wait, it's not.
That's
my
gross.
Oculus.
That's gross. But no, so I wouldn't do that. But he gets so sick with it. He's actually said to me, like, do I just want it? Like, do I just want to
Oh,
kind of borrow it
Take
forever?
it.
So I might
yeah,
do
just
that.
borrow it indefinitely.
I want to get
He
back
doesn't give
to
a shit
playing
about it.
Half-Life Alyx. That game,
Cool.
honestly, might be the best game I've played in like 5 years. That game. I love that game so
Damn.
much. All right, Mike, over to you, host.
Right. Cool. So let's move on to